Recently, I saw this strategy tested on multiple big trading strategy backtesting channels and all of them had great results. So in today's video, we are going to test this easy but profitable trading system 100 times to see if it's really that good. Hello everyone, I am TradeSmart and let's get right into it. First, I will show you the indicators and the rules for long and short positions. After that, I will backtest the strategy 100 times and give you the results. I will also show you a trailing stop loss version of it and repeat the backtest. At the end of the video, we will go over some optimization tips and I give you a free indicator which we developed as one of the optimizations. For this strategy, we are going to use the Bitcoin USDT 30-minute chart. Once you have the chart, open up the Indicators tab so we can add all the necessary indicators. The main indicator for this strategy is going to be the trend meter. The trend meter will be used as the entry signal indicator and as a filter also. The trend meter uses different indicators and their combinations to indicate the direction of a trend. It uses the RSI, the MACD and different moving average crossovers. On the trend meter, we are going to use the default settings and there's only one thing we are going to change. We will get rid of the Signals 1 option. Now if we take a look at the indicator, we can see red and green dots printed on the chart and two lines on the bottom. The basic entry signal is the following. Once we have 4 green dots and the 2 lines are in green color, we can enter into a long position. But this is not the only indicator we are going to use, so let's move on. For filtering the bad entry signals even more, we are going to use 2 EMA lines. These EMAs will filter out some of the bad entry points. So go into the Indicators tab and type in EMA. Click on Moving Average Exponential. Once you have it on your chart, go into the settings and set the first EMA line to 50 length and color it red. Then go to the second EMA and set its length to 200 and color it white. The rule is simple. We can only enter into a long position if the 50 length EMA is above the 200 length EMA. Therefore, we can enter into a short position if the 50 length EMA is under the 200 length EMA. And the last indicator needed for this strategy is the NNFX ATR. The NNFX ATR will serve us as a stop loss and take profit indicator. Once you have it on your chart, open up its settings and set the TP to 4 and the SL value to 2. This means that the take profit level is going to be a 4 times ATR and the stop loss a 2 times ATR. After that, switch to the style settings, turn off the main ATR and set all of the line styles to step line. And with that, your chart is all set. Now let's see some long and short examples. Here you can see a valid long entry. The 50 length EMA is above the 200 length EMA and the trend meter shows 4 green dots and only green lines. Here I have to mention a very important rule you have to follow if you want to backtest the strategy correctly. Let me ask you, would you consider this candle as a valid long entry candle? If you said yes, you are wrong. Let's see why. I'm going to use the replay function, so let's mark this candle with a vertical line so we won't forget where it was. Okay, now let's rewind the chart. As you can see, we are getting closer to the possible entry candle, and now we are there. As you can see on the trend meter, not all the lines are green. That is because the relevant color for the current candle is the color between the current and the last candle. So when you are backtesting, you have to check the color of the lines between the entry candle and the candle before it. Hope that was clear because it can change the outcome of the backtest a lot. Now let's get back to the long example. So on this candle, the 50 length EMA is above the 200 length EMA, all the dots are green, and the color of the trend meter lines between the entry signal and the last candle is green. Stop loss goes to the red NNFX ATR line and the take profit to the blue one. As you can see, this trade was a winner. Now let's see a short example. Here is a valid entry candle for a short. The 50 length EMA is under the 200 length EMA, all the 4 dots are red, and the color of the line between the current and the last candle is also red. So we can take a short position. Stop loss goes to the red NFX ATR line and the take profit goes to the blue one. And as you can see, just a few candles later our take profit was hit. And now, let's see the 100 backtest. And the results are in. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. After 100 trades on the Bitcoin USDT 30-minute chart, we had 44 winners and 56 losers, which brings us to a total of 32% gain on the account after 100 trades. Time to complete the 100 trades was 75 days and 10 hours. The most wins in a row was 5 and the most losses in a row was 13. Keep in mind this number, we will get back to it. Let's see the equity curve. On the equity curve, we can see that it was pretty flat until the end when it started to go up exponentially. I would say that although it is not a positive thing to have a sideways equity curve for such a long period, but it is still better than a downtrending one. The grade end performance can indicate that this strategy works better or worse according to different market conditions. This equity curve is not the best I've seen, but not terrible at all. Now let me show you the trading stop loss version of this strategy. For trading stop loss, we are going to use the super trend indicator. So open up the indicators tab, type in super trend and click on this one. The next step is that I'm going to make this super trend to work as our main stop loss take profit indicator, the NNFX ATR. The only difference is that this will constantly move our stop loss as price moves. So open up the super trend settings and change the ATR period to 14, the source to close and the ATR multiplier to 2. Now the entry and position management rules will be the following. For long position, the 50 length TMA needs to be above the 200 length TMA. The trend meter needs to show 4 green dots. The trend meter lines needs to be green between the entry candle and the candle before it. And finally, the super trend needs to be green. Stop loss will go to the super trend line. We won't have a fixed profit target. We will exit the position once the super trend shows a sell signal. This way we can ride the big and strong trends without exiting too early. For shorts, we look for the opposite. So we need the 50 length TMA to be under the 200 length TMA, we need to have 4 red dots on the trend meter and 2 red lines between the entry candle and the candle before that. And finally, a red super trend. Stop loss goes to the super trend and we don't have any profit targets. We will exit the position once the super trend turns green. Now let's see the 100 backtest for this version. And the results are in. On the same pair, the same time frame and on the same time interval, we had 85 trades, from which 35 was winner and 50 was loser. This brings us to a total of 15.42% net profit with risking 1% per trade. The most wins in a row was also 5, but the most losses in a row has decreased from 13 to 9, which means this version of the strategy had a lower drawdown. I will leave it up to you to decide which version is better. Higher net profit and higher drawdown, or lower net profit but also lower drawdown. Let me know which one you prefer down in the comment section. Now let's see the equity curve. As you can see, from the start we had a nice uptrending move, then the strategy slowly continued this uptrend. After that we had a big losing streak, and from the 59th trade the strategy started to really work well, bringing us to a total of 15% gain on the account. And now let's see the optimization tips I talked to you about. The first possible optimization focuses on exiting the trade when the trend starts to lose its steam. For this one we are going to use the trend meter. The rule is very simple. In case of a long position, we are only staying in the position until the top line of dots on the trend meter are green. So, when the first red dot appears on the top level, we will exit that trade. The opposite applies to short positions. So when the first green dot prints on the top line of the dots, we will exit the trade. This filter would have saved us from some losing trades like this or this. The second possible optimization I saw while backtesting was to not enter into any trade when the 50 and the 200 length TMA are close to each other. The basic logic behind this is that when the two EMAs are close to each other, we are usually in a ranging market. A ranging market usually leads to losses. To make it easy spotting such conditions, I searched for an indicator that measures the distance between two moving averages. Sadly, I couldn't find anything like that, so I asked David or PineScript Coder to make an indicator for this purpose. And you can see the final result here. This is an invite-only TradingView indicator, so if you want to get access to this one for free, we made a Google form where you can sign up. Okay, now let's see the indicator. This indicator prints different height bars. The height of the bar shows the distance between the two moving averages. If you go into the settings, on the top you can set the moving average type, length and source. As we are using a 50 and a 200 length TMA, I will set the indicator for those parameters. Under the MA settings, you can set the limit levels. Low limit means the shortest distance that needs to be between the two moving average. Therefore, the high limit means the biggest distance between the two EMA that is still acceptable. This limit can work as filtering overextended market periods. On the Bitcoin USDT 30-minute chart, the distance between the two EMAs ranges between 0 and 2500. I think that a 200 value for low limit is reasonable, so let's set it. As you can see, all the distance bars which are below 200 has now been colored red, meaning a no trade zone. On the bottom you have the last option, which is the paint on candles. If this option is allowed, it will paint white every candle that is within the acceptable MA distance range. Okay, so this filter is all set. Let's see some trades that would have been eliminated. Here you can see a longer ranging market period. As you can see, this comes with a lot of losing trades and the low distance between the two EMAs. The distance between the EMAs throughout this period is always less than the 200 low limit level. So we would have not entered into any of these trades. This means 9 losing trades and 2 winning trades are eliminated. I did not backtest these 2 possible optimizations, just showed you a few examples. So it's up to you to validate if this makes the strategy better or not. Feel free to test different limits and share your findings with the TradeSmart community down in the comment section. As always, keep in mind that 100 backtest is not enough to prove a strategy's long-term performance, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Finally, let's see where this strategy is placed among the 60 different strategies tested on this channel so far. If we take a look at the strategies ranked by daily profit in percentage, we can see that the basic version of this strategy, which I showcase first, is placed number 9, which is pretty good. The trading stop loss version took the 16th place. It is not as great, but is still a good placement. Looking at the gain on the account after 100 trades spreadsheet, the basic trend meter strategy is placed number 7 and the trading stop loss version is placed number 19. A Google Drive link for both of these spreadsheets is listed down below in the description. And that wraps up today's video. What do you think of this strategy? How could it be more stable and profitable? Let me know down in the comment section. If you want to get access to trading scripts and optimizations that brings results like this, or if you want to chat with me or with the other TradeSmart team members or with the Discord members, check out our Patreon page and become a Smart Trader tier member today. And with that said, as always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day and see you in the next video.